Many people think the recession is happening. So what should we do as independent contractors, as gig workers? How are we going to navigate through this situation? Because the recession is coming.
And they have been pointing that way, and I think they're exactly right. And I think the recession is coming, no matter what they say. I think it's coming. I think it's coming, this summer into the early fall, which is a move for me. I thought it was coming, late winter, maybe into early next year, but I actually think it's going to happen much sooner, right?
Because 2022 and 2023 look like they may be recession years. If you look at what's going on right now in the economy, major corporations are starting to lay people off. Interest rates are rising, which as a result will also slow spending and of course could lead to a recession.
So in this video, I'm going to tell you some of the things I'm going to do to help me navigate the recession. And hopefully these tips can help you at least think about it, because this is a big question here for you guys. Do you have a plan to deal with the recession? Do you have any kind of goals, plans, things you're supposed to do to survive the recession? If you don't, you want to stick around, watch this video. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be doing to try to make things as easy as possible for me, and what things that you can do so you are not stuck at the end being in a really bad place financially because of the recession, because it's going to hit all of us hard very soon. So we all know about the high gas prices, the stock prices are falling, crypto is taking the bloodbath. My Robinhood account has been taking quite a pounding, and not in a good way. Things are getting more and more dire as the time goes on. We have geopolitical issues. We have issues at home where people can't get baby formula. Prices of goods and services are getting higher and higher. Our earnings are not meeting up with inflation. So what do we do as gig workers? How do we survive the recession? You see lots of news articles. A lot of people are forecasting that a recession is going to come soon. A lot of CEOs have hedged their bets that this is going to happen, and people are selling. They're trying to hold their money together. They don't know exactly what's happening, but what they do know that there's just so many problems happening at once. And let's be completely honest, most people do not have confidence in our government to figure this out. So you are going to have to figure it out on your own. Come to think about it, the last time I remember dealing with something like this was in 2008, and I was not in a good place. I was unemployed. I had unemployment, and I just really sat there and rolled out the recession. And I just sat home and did nothing. And that was a very long time ago. It was back when I was in my 20s, playing too many video games and not taking control of my life. And one of the things that I realized that I wasted was a lot of opportunities. And we're going to talk about that later on. As an older, more mature me, I realized that there are certain things I should have done to make things even better for me coming out of the recession. Majority of us, most of us do have a W-2 job. So it's not just full-time gig workers, but if you do have a W-2 job, my first tip is going to be a bit of a surprise, but I think even if you are a full-time gig worker, a full-time independent contractor, you should look into W-2 work. You should at least check Indeed, Moss.com, Career Builder, whatever resource you have for checking out W-2 jobs, check them out. At least take a look. You may be surprised at what's out there. Tons of remote work. There's so many different options. I think it's a really good idea to at least take a look at it. You want to make sure that you have all your options open, all your opportunities open. So let's say, for instance, you actually have a W-2 job. What should you do during this situation? Well, you want to make sure your position is secure. You want to make sure that you're in this job, and this job is going to be able to hold you down during this terrible time. So you want to make sure your job is secure. You want to make sure you have agreements on raises or promotions. You want to make sure stuff is getting set in stone soon, sooner than later. You don't want to get into a point where you thought that you was going to get a promotion or raise, and you didn't say anything to the boss, you didn't say anything to your managers, and then when the recession really starts to hit, they take those type of things back. Set your position now in your job if you're going to stick around that place of business. Make sure that you get honest feedback from them. Do they see you as an important person, irreplaceable, or you have friction and you know that when the poop hits the fan, you may be the first person they push out? Have an honest assessment of what you're doing at your W-2 job. Obviously, you want to scale back your spending right now. I think that's something that most Americans are already doing. You don't want to go too crazy, buying the newest pair of Jordans. Forget the new pair of Jordans, get Felines, go get the Shaq shoes, save your money, pay off all your credit cards. You want to be in a minimal debt as possible, especially with crazy credit cards with the interest rates out the wazoo. You don't want to owe too much money, so you want to to scale back. And that's the thing, if most people start to scale back their spending, and if you are a gig worker, independent contractor like myself, which relies on people spending their discretionary income on food or even taking care of dogs or taking care of animals or other kind of work that gig workers thrive and make money from, you got to be careful, and you're going to have to scale back your spending as well. So you may want to skip going out so often or spending extra money on going to a restaurant. You may want to start eating more at home. Be more responsible. Hold and save your money, because you never know what's going to happen in the future. This is something that I wish I should have done back in 2008 when things really got crappy during that time. Consider learning a new skill. Consider going back to school, trade school, taking a course on something. During this time where things are chaotic, no one knows what's going on, if you take a step back and think, okay, what skills can I learn that can make me money in the future while things are tight right now? What if you went to school, or you took a course, or you went to trade school and you learned a valuable skill that can help you? So even if the recession lasts as long than anyone expected, if you have a remarkable skill, you can thrive while people are barely surviving. You want to use the economic downturn as a way to learn and grow. Like going into the monk mode, you're going into your lab, you're building yourself up to be a better, stronger person. And when economic times are chaotic right now, that's one of the best things you can do. And that's one of the things I wish I could have done back in 2008. I was too busy just relying on unemployment and playing too much video games and not really taking life seriously, because back then it was just play video games and goof off, where I could have went back, maybe found a marketable skill, and really took off after the recession turned around. And this tip I think is even more important, is taking a step back and re-evaluating your life. Re-evaluating what you want to do with your life, working, making a living. What do you want to do? Do you want to launch a business? Do you want to find another side business? I know as independent contractors, we are doing the whole side hustle, and many of us use the side hustle to our main hustle. But what other ideas do you have? What other business ideas do you think would work? These are times where people come from small beginnings to being powerful and great, when they take a step back and think of what is important for me, what is my priorities are, what am I passionate about, and work on those things to create businesses, create the kind of lifestyle that you want for you and your family. So I think that's important to try to do, especially as things go bad to worse in our economic situation here. Put in the comments below, what do you guys think? First of all, first question, do you think a recession is actually happening? Do you think it's already here? Do you think it's going to happen in a few months? Do you think it'll never happen at all? Put in the comments below. I am not a financial advisor at all, but I am looking at things, watching a lot of way smarter people saying, hey, things are going in the wrong direction. Tell me what you guys think about the idea of a recession even happening. And then also, I want you to tell me, what would you do as a DoorDasher, Uber Eats driver, Grubhub driver, if you're a full-time gig worker? What is your plan if a recession hits? We're going to talk in imaginary, hypothetical terms. If the recession happened next week, what is your plan? What are you going to do if a recession actually hits our country? I am very interested to hear all of your comments on this one, because this is very uncertain times, to say the least, in our society. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I'll see you guys in the next video.